Hello everyone, happy 4th of July to you. Let's hope this works because I've never used one before. Oh, was that it? Dear me. I was expecting like an explosion. Oh, what a waste of money. Well, that was a bit disappointing. Sorry about that. I've got another one. I'll try it again. Perhaps the other one's gonna go off with a bit more of a bang. There's all these warnings written on this party cannon. Don't direct in your face, don't use near animals. And for what? Pathetic. Okay, I'm going to try another one. Hopefully this will go off with as big a bang as that Miele vacuum cleaner that exploded. Whew, brace yourself. Oh well. They'd sold out of party poppers, you see, so I had to get what I thought would be like, I thought this would be like party poppers on acid. I thought it'd be party poppers on, what's that other thing? Steroids, that's it, that's what I'm thinking of. But no, I think oh crikey, all it is. I thought it'd be like some compressed gas thing. Look, it's just a spring. There's probably a way you can reuse that, I don't know. All it is a plastic plunger on a spring. Well, it's made a bit of a mess. But anyway, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day to all my American viewers and anybody else watching, of course. Happy day to you. If you don't celebrate the 4th of July where you live, even if you are American, you might not celebrate. But anyway, let's celebrate the fact that I'm here for another 4th of July show where I'm going to unbox one of my American imported vacuum cleaners. I've been keeping very quiet about it. It only arrived a few days ago, just in time for me to unbox on this special day. So whatever you're doing today on the 4th of July, whether you're in America, Canada, New Zealand, India, UK, Timbuktu, I don't care where you are, as long as you're watching and having a good time. So it's a special program, so without any further ado, let's unbox a vacuum cleaner. Well, here it is, folks, today's special 4th of July unboxing from a company that used to be an iconic American brand. Unfortunately, of course, as many of us know, Hoover is no longer owned by an American company. They're owned by a company based in Hong Kong, TTI Industries, and no longer made in the good old US of A. This one was made in China. So yes, the irony doesn't escape me, but it is an American vacuum. So for me, this is American because it has an American plug and it uses American voltage. So I will need my special black box to show you this working. It's a Hoover Professional 14-inch commercial bagged upright model CH50015. I've got a similar one. Now this is based on quite an old model, which is why I wanted it. Although it is made in China, it's more or less, it's the same shape as the old, we called it the Conquest in the UK, a big commercial upright cleaner. It ran for several years. So let's have a look. I've had a quick look. I've not had it out properly. I've had a quick look because obviously this came a long way and I wanted to check it was okay before I showed it to you. So I've had a sneak peek, I have to admit. This is a very, very heavy, thick ribbed cable. And it's the first American vacuum I've imported that needs grounding or earthing, as we say in the UK, because it has a 3-pin plug. And the longer round plug there, of course, is the grounding plug or the earth plug. The other plugs, other pins on this plug are a little bit bent. They do tend to move about, I've noticed, but it should straighten up when I plug that into my special adapter. So, great big chunky cord. Obviously it needs to be connected to the cleaner because it isn't at the moment. So I'll put that to one side. We've got instructions. Also, with commercial cleaners, this is fairly common, you get a parts list. So all these parts should still be available. This machine, I believe, is discontinued. You can still get it. Obviously, I managed to get one from eBay. They also do a version with the dust cup, or if you wanted, you could buy the dust cup assembly to fit this model, so you don't have to use bags. I had a dust cup Hoover Power Plus back in the 80s, and it was very messy to empty. But I'd like one now, but it's not very practical, so I'm glad this one takes bags. It does have a filter bag inside. You can buy a reusable cloth bag as well for this, I believe. The UK version I've got does have the cloth bag. We've got the assembly instructions, so I will need to assemble this. There is a guarantee with this. Well, it's a 3-year limited warranty. And then we've got the instruction book in several different languages, and it says only for commercial use. Well, I'm sure it won't matter that I use this in a domestic environment. Not a lot to the instructions really. Probably wouldn't even get looked at by most people using this machine, because this machine is meant for hotels, shops, commercial environments, because it's quite a large machine. There is a larger, wider version available as well, but this is the 14-inch cleaning path. So here we have a one-piece chrome handle, and that feels, you know, it does feel solid. It's got a little loop here to loop the cord. I'll show you that in a minute. So this is the end that goes into the handle bail on the cleaner, and this end you have to put the handle, which should be in here. Here it is. So this is the handle assembly with the cord hook. There's only one hook on this machine. So that's your handle assembly with the screw fitted, and there is your single large cord hook, so you could just loop up the cable and just hook it on there at the top of the handle. And here's the bag, very fetching bright red cloth bag. It says HEPA media here, traps 99.9% of dust and pollens down to 0.3 microns. Disposable bag made with HEPA media. It says Hoover Professional Series, and inside we will see the bag. This is an A style bag, fairly common, but this is one of Hoover's HEPA, so it's quite a thick, several layers to this, I would expect. So this is what gives it the HEPA certification. It's this bag. If you're using it with other bags, you won't have the HEPA. And you've got the fill tube, of course. For some reason, I don't know why, but there's not sure what the purpose of this loose piece of fabric is, but it obviously fits over the fill tube like that. And then, of course, the bag just pushes on. So we'll put that to one side. So I think all that's left now is the cleaner itself. Smooth that box. Oh, it's a heavy machine. There we are. So this is finished in quite a fetching matte black. It's got a bit dirty. That'll be from the factory. It's a shame there's no Hoover branding on the actual cleaner head. I would have liked to have seen the Hoover logo somewhere, but never mind. So basically we've got this big dial, so we can adjust the height from low to high pile. Okay, well, I'll just get this assembled and then we'll take a closer look at this, and I'll plug it into my little magic black box, and hopefully this machine will work. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is attach the handle to the handle bail here. There are some screws fitted, so we need to take these off first. There's some screws and washers. So I'll undo the two. That should be enough to do with the screwdriver, and then we'll do the other one. That's it. Oops, that's my screwdriver falling to bits. So we'll take the screws out, noting of course which way in they went. It's a two-part, well, it's a nut and bolt system really. You have to undo the whole thing. So this is basically two of these are what hold the handle. to the handle bail. I hope you're having a nice time today, whether you are celebrating the 4th of July in the US of A or wherever you are in the world. Even if you're not celebrating the 4th of July, you're all welcome. So, it goes, this part needs to be towards the top. So obviously this is the bit that goes in. Now, also you need to ensure that the holes at the back of the handle are facing the back of the machine, not the front, because I think you could possibly put it in the wrong way. Yeah, I think you could, but I'm going to make sure I put it in the correct way. So we just need to push this down fully, yes, until the holes have lined up. So obviously we need to now reinsert the nut and bolt assembly. You can only do it one way because it's a square shape at one side and a circle at the other. So you just need to line them up. I always like to tighten things by hand first. That way you know you haven't cross-threaded the screw, because if you start screwing in something you've cross-threaded, you've a likely chance you'll cause some damage and it won't hold. So always tighten by hand first, and if you can tighten nearly all the way by hand, you know that it's fine. So I just need to tighten these up with a screwdriver, and then it's on to the next part of the assembly. Next we need to attach the hand grip and the cord hook to the top of the handle. I've got the cleaner lying down on its front. This is the back of the handle. So first you need to obviously take off the screw that will be taped to the hand grip. And the hand grip goes in this way. Don't push it fully home. Push it about halfway. Then take the cord hook. There's a little lug here at the bottom. That needs to go in the rectangular hole on the handle. And then just lever the hook forward. And now we need to push the hand grip fully home. Now it is quite a tight fit. That's it. I think that's in. So once that is in position, your handle is fully in, then the cord hook should be locked into position, and then all we need to do now is insert the screw into the hole at the back. We'll just make sure that the hole is lined up. Hang on, let's move that. There we go. Pop the screw in. Now this one is going to be quite hard to tighten by hand at first. I might be able to, yes, it's going in actually. But yes, Hoover have decided to put a Phillips type screw. I used a flat screw head to attach the handle bail, and now I need a Phillips screw, so we'll do that up. It'll go through the hole in the back of the hook. Turn it the right way, there we go. So that's nearly in place. There we go, so that's the handle assembled. Next we need to attach the cord, and as you can see, the cord end here, the socket end, will plug in to the plug end on the machine. Obviously only goes in one way, so push that in firmly. And it is quite a tight fit, which is good. This is the power cord support retainer towards the top of the handle. So all we have to do with this is to feed the cord, loop it first like this, and then you feed it through the slot. Because this is quite a thick, rigid power cord, you might have to squeeze it through. You just need to push it until it pops over the top of this little lug here. There we are. Once that's in position, you just need to move the cord so it's fitting securely and tightly against the side of the handle. You don't want it too tight, but you don't want it flapping around either. So it's a little bit tricky this, but it's easier to do when you're not talking into a camera, I can assure you. Let's pull it through a bit more. Hang on a minute. There we go. That's nearly there. So now we've got the cord secured to the top of the handle, so it's a little bit out of the way. It's more near the top, so it shouldn't get in the way when you're actually using the cleaner. Now it's time to attach the bag assembly, but first we need to remove this metal bar. And there's also some cardboard packaging that we need to remove as well. You'll need a posi drive or Phillips type screwdriver for that. And then just pull out this this cardboard packaging. There shouldn't be anything else in there, that's it. The 2 screws removed from the metal bar aren't needed because there are 2 screws actually attached to the bottom of the bag, and they are conventional flathead screws. So to insert the bag, you just need to screw this black plastic part to the metal plate at the base of the machine, and you need to insert the bag with the zip towards the back and the writing, of course, towards the front. So again, we need to change the screwdriver head. But first of all, we'll just locate it here as much as we can. Just turn it a few times if you can by hand, just to make sure it is in position. That's on. I just need to get my screwdriver now to tighten these 2 screws. That's assembly almost complete. We've got to, of course, make sure that the internal bag is fitted. So we'll just push the HEPA A-type bag onto the black bag support tube, like so. This bag clip and spring isn't actually attached, so you might have to reinsert it into the bag. Now it's shaped like this because it can be used with the optional reusable cloth bag, which you'd seal it with this clip at the top. But because we're using the disposable bag, we don't need to, but we still need this spring because it holds the bag to the top of the handle. So basically we'll just pop the bag inside the outer cloth bag, like so. Make sure it's properly inserted and not bent over, creased up. You can partly do the zip up at this stage, and then this spring and bag slide needs to go in the top of the cloth bag like that, with the spring sticking out, and then you can do the zip right up to the top, and finally attach the spring to the lower hook underneath the large hook at the top of the handle. So there you go, that's assembly fully completed. Okay, so now that we've got the Hoover Professional Bagged Upright Vacuum Cleaner assembled, we can take a bit of a closer look at the machine itself. So starting with this large dial in the middle, marked from high to low, but there are several different positions in between. So high is for your shag pile and long pile carpeting, and you can select any of the other settings. Low is suitable for stuck down carpet and carpet tiles, and then the setting above that is more suitable for short pile carpet. Then you've got medium pile carpet. Obviously, whatever setting you choose depends on your conditions, but if it's too difficult to push, then go up one notch. If it's too easy to push, you might find you'll get better performance by lowering the cleaning head. When changing the position of the dial, it's a good idea to tilt the machine back on its rear wheels, and you'll find it's a lot easier to move this dial here. Now at the side of the machine, here we have object clean out, or heavy particle trap as Hoover used to call it. So basically this is a little port that allows you access into the air path, so any larger particles that are too heavy to have been sucked through into the bag can be caught here, such as paper clips and pins and that sort of thing. But of course you shouldn't really be picking up things like that with a machine of this type. This is a dirty fan vacuum, so all the dirt that it picks up passes straight through the fan and into the bag. So the fan can be prone to damage if you pick up hard or sharp objects. So obviously best to avoid them if you can, but if you do run over the odd item, hopefully it will be trapped in this area here before it reaches the fan. So you need to make sure, of course, that that is properly located, because if you lose this bit here, you'll have no performance because all the suction will be lost through this hole and not going to the cleaner head where it's needed. It's a shame that Hoover never thought of adding tools to this. I know it's a commercial machine made mainly for carpets, large areas of carpet, but because of this particle trap here, you'd think they could have designed a little adapter so you could fit a hose. I'm pretty sure a hose was never available, tools weren't available, even pan converter tools weren't available for this machine. This is primarily for carpet cleaning. So there we go, that's in place. You'll see it's got a clear bumper now, and this is clear to prevent marring. Oh, that's not been put in very well, never mind. It's clear, so as it's running along baseboards and furniture, if you bang it into anything, hopefully it's not going to leave a mark. That's why that Hoover have made it clear. Also, on each side of this large cleaner head, we've got these little inserts, and there again, just to help prevent any damage if you're going under low furniture. And just towards the back here, we've got your main foot operated on-off pedal, and just underneath we've got the handle release pedal. You just press that down, of course, to release the handle, and the handle will fold flat for cleaning under low furniture, and then will lock into position when you're storing the machine away. On the underside of the vacuum is Hoover's activator that does all the beating and sweeping. It's a different design to the traditional Hoover activator because you can't actually replace these brushes individually. When the brushes wear down, you have to replace the whole activator body or activator assembly, which includes the end caps and bearings. So when they wear down, you just need to replace that. Instructions of how to do that, and change the belts, of course, in the manual, and this does take 2 belts. So this has got an activator instead of the regular beats as it sweeps as it cleans action, but it has what Hoover called beater pads instead of the traditional metal beater bars, and spiral brushes to sweep surface dirt and litter away. It does feel pretty solid. I know it's a Chinese made machine, but I'm pretty impressed so far with the build and the plastic quality of this vacuum. In the United Kingdom and most of Europe, we use 220 to 240 volts, whereas this vacuum cleaner I've imported from America uses 120 volts. So even if I change the American plug for a UK one, if I was to plug it in to a UK socket, it's not going to do the vacuum any good. I don't know what would happen to it, and I don't really want to try, not after spending so much money importing this. So that is why I have this special little black box. It's a step-down voltage converter, so that converts the 240 volts going into it to 120 volts for the appliances that are plugged into the back. So at the back of it, you'll have seen this if you've seen any of my other American imports. We've just got 2 sockets here, and it does have a ground pin. As I said, this is the only American cleaner I've had so far that has needed a ground pin, so hopefully it will fit in. The box is off actually at the moment. That's a nice secure fit. So now when I turn the step-down converter on, the voltage going through this thick ribbed cable should be 120 volts. Well, it's time for the first switch on. This cleaner has come a long way via America from China to the United Kingdom, halfway across the world. Let's hope it works, folks. It is brand new, so it should do. Right, here goes. to raise the height a little bit. There's a lot of airflow with this machine. It was a bit difficult to push on the setting I had it, so it's now on the third notch. But it lifts the pile like the old-fashioned Hoovers, and it's a lot quieter. Now, I was a bit dubious buying this because I knew it was a Chinese-made Hoover commercial cleaner, and I thought it's going to be loud, as typical of a lot of Chinese vacuums. But it's got a nice sound to it. It's got a little bit of a squeak as well, but that could be to do with the agitator or the belts just sort of bedding in. But I think the motor, it does sound very nice indeed. So I'm pretty pleased. It's a huge machine for a normal home. If you've got a big home, especially obviously if you live in the USA, much cheaper to buy than it cost me, because most of the cost of importing vacuum cleaners, unfortunately, to the UK from the USA comes in, of course, the shipping charge and the customs charge. So to buy the machines often isn't too bad, but when you add those prices to it, it can sort of make them double the cost it would cost someone living in the USA. But I like it. I certainly like it. It's a nice machine. It does feel pretty solid. So I think we better clean up that mess I made earlier with that party cannon. Well folks, that's the end of my 4th of July special. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumb up. I hope whatever you're doing today, you're having a great time, and I'll see you all tomorrow for my regular video. So it's goodbye from me and this very hefty, but I'm really pleased with it. It's far better than I expected, being Chinese made. It sounds good, it picks up well. I will be doing a little bit of a big mess test, I think, with this. Be putting down some more dirt rather than those party streamers, but so far I think it's a very good machine. Certainly one that I could use before I shampoo a carpet. Anyway, I'm going to, oh, it's heavy though. I'm going to take it for a spin around my home later today and see how it performs. But yeah, it certainly picks up well. And on first impressions, it's pretty good. So that's it. I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now.